Good evening, Lakshita.
Good evening, ma'am.
Okay, so let's begin. We were waiting for you only, right? Okay, I'm sharing the screen. See, in our last class, children, we were doing basic geometrical ideas and we studied about intersecting lines and parallel lines, right? About line segments, lines, okay? And lines which pass from one point, lines which pass from 2 points, and some different types of figures also. I hope you have done this true and false.
Yes, ma'am.
Good bit. Okay, now next is curves. Now in curves, we will be studying about curves are, they are not straight lines. They are free-handed curves. Okay, like suppose, like this, if you have something, when you make something like this, that's a curve. Okay, any figure like this, that's a curved figure, right? Which is not straight, that is curved. Okay. And what do you mean by polygons? Polygons are those closed figures which are made by line segments. Okay. Polygons are those closed figures which are made by line segments. Like suppose you have a triangle which is made by how many line segments? How many line segments it is made of? This
3.
one line segment, yes, 3. AB is one line segment, then B to C is one line segment, and C to A is another line segment. So that means triangle is made of 3 line segments. So any polygon which is made of, and so polygon can have any number of sides. Okay. A closed figure. Closed means it is closed from all sides. The starting point and the end point meet together. Okay. Any closed figure which is made by line segments. Okay, by straight lines is called polygon. Like suppose if you have here, see this is a closed figure. It is made by line segments. Okay, so it's a polygon. So it has how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. So 5-sided polygon we call it pentagon. Okay. Okay, children. The smallest polygon has sides 3. Okay. With side 2 you cannot make a polygon. With side, if you have 2 sides, can you make a polygon with this?
No.
So you can. So minimum number of sides that you need to make a polygon is 3.
3.
Then if some polygon has 4 sides, say square or rectangle, then you call such figures as quadrilateral. Okay, 4-sided figure is called quadrilateral. 3-sided figure is called triangle. Then suppose if you have 5-sided figures like this shape, it has 5 sides. No?
Pentagon.
This is pentagon. Okay? Then suppose if you have 6 sides, then that is hexagon. If you have 7 sides, that's heptagon.
Heptagon.
Then if you have 8 sides, then octagon. And so on you have, depending on the number of sides, you can have so many polygons. Okay? Understood this much? Rakshita, Bhavesh?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, when we talk of diagonals, what are diagonals? Yeah, if I'm talking about diagonals of a polygon, now suppose I have this quadrilateral, 4-sided polygon. So, diagonals are when you join the opposite ends. If I join this end with this and this end with this, line that joins the opposite ends are called diagonals. So, from A to B is one diagonal, from C to D is another diagonal. Okay, this is called diagonal. Okay, a line segment that joins opposite ends. Now, similarly, you can see in this figure, in the pentagon also you can see. This side, this A is joining with B, then B is joining with E, E is joining with C, A is joining with C, E is joining with B. So, Like this, it has 5 diagonals, is it? A quadrilateral had 2 diagonals. So understood the concept of diagonals? What are diagonals? The line that joins the opposite corners. Okay? Opposite vertices are called diagonals. Now see here, when we talk of a quadrilateral, the sides which are facing each other are called opposite sides. Okay? The sides which face each other are called opposite sides. This is opposite to this. This is opposite to this. Okay? So these are called opposite sides. And if I have one side this side and another side this, what do I call these two sides? I call them adjacent sides. Okay? Adjacent sides. Why do I call them adjacent sides? Because they are sharing a common point. One line is this, another line is this. They are sharing a common point, is it? Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
sir. So we call it adjacent sides. These two sides are adjacent to each other. And if I talk about opposite sides, then these two sides are opposite to each other. And even these two are opposite to each other. Okay? But when you have these sides, one side this, another side this one, then we call it adjacent sides. Okay? Right, children? Next is coming to angles now. Okay. Yesterday also we spoke about acute angles, obtuse angles, no? And what kind of angles we spoke about? Reflex angle, complete angle, straight angle. So many angles we studied, no? Are you understanding, children? We studied about so many angles. Okay. Now let's see. What do you have in this content? Okay. The very common example of the angle is your door or your window. When you open the door of your house, what do you see? The door makes an angle with its frame. Is it? Yes, do you see that? When you open the door is making an angle with its frame. So that is an angle. Example of angle. When you open the window is also making an angle with its frame. Okay. So that's a very common example of angle. Okay. Now let's revise the angle concept again with this exercise. Okay. Name the angles in between given figures. Between these figures, which are the angles here? Which are the angles? I can say DAB. How do I write angle? I always write angle like this. I take this angle lies between these two arms. So B to A is one arm and A to B is another arm. Okay. So an angle is lying between these two lines. So I call this angle as BAB. Okay. BAB. That means this angle. Right? Understanding how do we write angle? We don't just simply write angle A. Instead, we should write angle like this. This angle lies between these two arms, BA and AB. So we write it as BAB. These are the 3 points on the angle of BAB. So similarly, which is another angle in the figure? Now you tell me, Bhavesh, which is another?
What?
Yes.
What?
Tell me which is the other angle in the figure.
Another angle is ma'am, A.
Yes.
A.
Yes, see. Look here, Bhavesh. Now, if I see this angle, this corner point, I see that this angle is lying between this line segment, and this line segment. Is it? This angle is lying between these two line segments, no? So I write the name of the angle as CBA. What will I write? CBA. This angle is CBA. You understood this? Okay. Now, Lakshita, how will you name angle C?
CDA.
C, I'm saying C. See, where you see the angle, that
CDA.
point should come in the center. Tell me,
CBA.
CBA. CBA is already written. We have written.
CDA, ma'am. CDA.
CDA is this angle. See, I'm talking of this angle. How will you name angle C? Angle C lies between which two arms?
DCB.
Exactly. That's so you will write DCB. You will see between which two arms this angle is lying. Okay, so that's DCB. Okay. Bhavesh, tell me which is the next angle?
Next angle is
We have to see, we have done for angle we have done B, we have done for C, which is the left one.
CDA.
CDA, angle CDA is left. Okay, so only this angle was left. In a quadrilateral, how many angles are there?
Four.
In a quadrilateral, quadrilateral is a four-sided figure. So how many angles it has?
Four.
Four angles. Okay, it has four angles. It's visible from this figure, is it? This is angle A, angle at A, angle at B, angle at C, angle at D. If you take any other figure also, like if you take a square, if you take a rectangle, if you take some trapezium, or any, this is parallelogram, you take some trapezium, any four-sided figure, it always has four angles, right? Okay? Right, children? It always has four sides. And properties of these angles are different from each other, but number of angles are same. Right? Okay. So let's see in the given diagram, name the points. Okay, we have to name these points now. In the interior of angle DOE. Now DO and E. Please see DOE on the figure. This is D, this is O, and this is E here. DOE. Now name the point in the interior of angle DO. Which is the point in the interior of angle DOE?
B.
Interior.
B.
B is on the angle. B is not in the interior, no?
Yeah.
B is on this line. So which angle is there in the interior? Which point is there from the figure? You can see all points are here.
Is it A?
Yes, it's A. Point A. Okay, point A lies in the interior of this angle. And if any point is lying on the line, then on the line is not interior. That is on the line itself. Right? Okay, Bhavesh, you tell me. Tell me, name the point in the exterior of angle EOF. So where is EOF angle?
EOF is over.
EOF is this. Now, which angle, which point is in the exterior? Exterior means what?
Outside.
Means inside. Exterior means outside. So which point is outside this angle?
C.
Yes, very good. That's point C. Good. Now on EOF. EOF. On angle EOF, which point is lying on this angle EOF? E, O, and F. Which point is lying on EOF?
B. B.
Very good. That's B. Okay. You can see here, no, this point is lying on this angle. Now, it is neither in the interior nor in the exterior. It's on the line. Okay, so on this angle. Okay, let's see the next question. Draw rough diagram of two angles such that they have one point in common. Just think of the diagram which you can make which have one point in common. Anything that has one point in common. Any rough diagram that has one point in common. Yesterday also we did. Yes, please think over it. When I told you about a point, how many lines passes through one point? How many lines passes through one point? Just tell me how many lines passes through one point. The same thing is being asked here. One point in common. You have two angles which have one point in common. So just look here. Now see, this is everyone. Please look here. Pay attention, Lakshita. Okay, this is the point, and if I draw a line here and a line here, that means this angle is at this point. Okay. Similarly, if I make another line here, that means I have one, this angle was there, then I have this angle also. If I take another line here, that means I have another line angle here. If I take one more, that means that has another angle. So on it will go on. Okay. So from one angle, how many points can you have? Many number of points.
Infinity.
Finite number of lines. Okay. Infinity. Great. And it's written draw rough diagram. So you have to draw the figure in your notebook now. So please do. From one point, different angles are emerges out. So please do that. Make a rough figure in your notebook. As you have questions in this chapter, the same way you will get your questions in your exam also. Yes, good Lakshya. Now the second one is when draw a rough diagram of two angles such that two points in common. Such that they have 2 points in common. Two angles. You have to make a diagram of two angles such that they have 2 points in common. So if I make a line like this and I from one end I make angle like this, from another end I make angle like this. So is that 2 points in common? So these are the 2 points which are common. Okay. Can name this figure. Please name A, Okay, done. So how will you make the figure for 2 points in common? Like this. Okay, from both the ends of this line, you can see an angle is emerging now. Yes, Lakshita, that's correct. Yes, Bhavish, that's correct. Okay, now see 3 points in common. You have to make figure where you can show two angles which have 3 points in common. Now, how will you show in an angle that 3 points are common? 3 points in common. So you will just make an angle, two angles such that they have 3 points in common. So these are the two angles you have made, and you can show that here there are 2 points, A, B, and C. Okay. So please make this figure in your notebook. I hope you are understanding all this. Yes, children? Great, very nice. Good, Bhavish. Bhavish, are you understanding all this? Good. Okay, now you have made 3 points in common. Okay, let's see the fourth one. Now you think and tell me, how will you make two angles which have 4 points in common? Two angles which have 4 points in common. In this question, we saw two angles where we had 3 points in common. Which were the common points? 1, 2, and 3. A, B, and C. So similarly, you have to make two angles and you will have to show that they have 4 points in common. Okay?
It's 4 points in common, right?
It has 4 points in common. See, look here, I'll show you. Look here, children. Now, when you have 4 points in common, what do? You just make two angles here. Okay, and just make 3 points here. Sorry, 4 points. One is already here, then second, third, fourth. So this is A, B, C, D. That's it, two angles which has 4 points in common. Okay? Yes, Lakshita, that's good. Very nice. And even after the class also, please practice all this, children. Okay? Because similar kind of questions you will get for your Sunday test also. Okay? Right? Okay, now see the last one. Yes, Bhavish? Yes. Okay, beta. Good. Okay, see.